Sandpaper.
Really?
We're hot.
I always do. I always polish. I found it made a difference with
Flow.
not so much the flow, but keeping it from carboning up.
Carboning, yeah. That's a good
Especially
point.
on the
with
exhaust size, it really doesn't carbon up. And a lot of people argued, how fluid dynamic works and the small nooks and crannies actually create little vortices to keep the carbon from sticking. But I found smooth kept the carbon from sticking at all.
Mm.
And if it did stick, you literally just wiped it with your finger and it was gone. You didn't have to work at it.
Well, if you want to smooth this, what we can do is I got some sandpaper
Mandrel,
on the mandrel. You want to do that? Okay.
Is that what you would do? All right, so let's do it.
Hey, Chad. Calling the mandrels. You really don't need high shine here, I don't think. I would just do 50
rough.
grit here.
Yeah. Leave it rough. Because the tumble's good going in. But like he said, make sure there's no burrs. Think we should do anything with the exhaust or just leave it?
You guys didn't grind on it, did you?
No. I'd probably leave that. And if somebody wants to port this later, they can just port it.
I want to fix that. I want to make that square.
Oh, you don't like that?
We can try. That's not easy to do, but you can certainly try.
You gotta be careful though, because that bolt.
Yeah. Yes.
Where is that thing going? Oh, it's pretty deep.
Mm-hmm. It's very easy to get into that bolt. Ask me how I know.
Because I've seen Rad where, you know how he posts once in a while. Like I've seen like on his 288, you get that.
I did it on one of mine.
Did it make a difference?
It didn't really seem to make a difference. Well, but it wasn't as hot of a saw as.
Tom Gronek, Mowers and Blowers outdone. What's going on? Hey, Rich. We got Jersey Josh on. What's going on, man? Creepiest guy. Just creepiest guy. So yeah, we're. Yeah, there you go. You gotta be on screen though. Mason, what are you doing? All right, here. That was my bad. Here, you use this, and then you grab the side first.
Oh God! Why don't you just get a new head?
You know how old that head is?
Well,
I've had that since college, and college. It was Katrina's first gift to me. It doesn't have to be super tight.
They don't make them like these.
Right. So it was. I think this was actually Katrina's first gift to me. The original Dremel RTX tool or whatever it was, the Black & Decker's version of a Dremel, died years ago, but the pencil attachment still works. So we got Mason and Buck here tonight. Who else is on? Who's watching?
I think we gotta change this.
Okay. You want more sandpaper?
He's so demanding.
One day we'll learn him.
Well, if I meant do it right, I want to sit there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can end up there for a while. Hey, yeah, here's my sandpaper. So what I like to do is.
Did he tell you what somebody hooked me up with?
Wait, what happened?
No, I didn't.
Somebody hooked me up with a South Bend lathe.
Oh, really? Wow. So you guys start like machine and stuff?
I haven't done it in years, but I got to get it all set up.
He's now the Connecticut version of Rattler.
Yeah, no. No.
That should be alright.
So what I do is fold it down once. Yep. And now slide that in. Which way it goes. Yep.
And
then wrap it. And then hope you're wrapping it the correct direction.
I'm doing it the right way.
You'll find out.
If not, you'll know real quick.
Yeah.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
See, this is no.
No, that's not right. Cause it's...
No.
PA Dan, who's Buck? You know,
That guy.
just a guy.
Nobody knows him.
Yeah.
You ready? Full throttle till you see God.
No full throttle. All we're doing is just kind of doing a little smoothing. This will go together pretty quick. This is a brand new OEM KS head. No, this is old fashioned of old fashioned here. Yeah, not really a port job, just smoothing some stuff out, John. This saw may end up with Rattler
It's all right.
to have him do port work. I just want to get it together and get it running tonight.
I mean, I could probably grind that top part a little bit more smooth. I think that was kind of there now. That was
It
kind of.
was. There's a little schmegma in there too if you wanted to take that down. It's up to you. Treat it like it's yours. That's what I say. That's how I do everyone. I treat it like it's mine.
Here, I'll be the cameraman. So all this is like 50 grit on a drywall screw. That's all that is. There's a drywall screw that I put a slice in. It's a mandrel.
Here, small. There you go. Contact. Happy with that?
That's a lot better than it was.
Also, we have a 3120 decomp on there. That looks good.
It was pretty mismatched. Like, what was it around that point?
Yeah, all of this was all mismatched, and we matched it up by using the little Sharpie blowgun, and we just put this in with a couple of bolts and lined it out.
So yeah, I've got a Sharpie blowgun, which is also called a Cineo spray pen.
Should we measure how wide the exhaust is? Like, we're not gonna, we're just smoothing things out.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a stock build.
it's a more or less stock build, and if it goes to Rattler, it goes to Rattler eventually, you know. But I'd say let's just get it running, make sure the darn thing runs.
Because honestly, like my port work, I would do this cylinder if I was just gonna run this out in the woods with just me. I would smooth that whip there.
We'll do that. You can do
Because
that.
I've had decent luck doing that, and that's a pretty
Well,
significant.
get that. Use the Dremel and hit it.
And then I would widen the exhaust. I would measure how wide it is, and
Right.
then I would square that off.
The
and
problem
then-
with ironing doing the exhaust right now is that if you're not adjusting, you know, if we adjust squish eventually, then
you're gonna have to change.
you got to change stuff. So grind on the exhaust when you're gonna, unless it's gonna run bad now, which it won't. Then
it looks pretty mild, the exhaust.
Right. So do the lower edges if you want on the lowers.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
there's a lip on
universal.
the
It's-
lowers.
Yeah, it's pretty universal.
Husky boy meets Dremel. Yep, pretty much.
That exhaust looks nice though from the factory. Honestly, like
So leave it.
good shape. I mean,
Yeah.
It's squared off as much as you could on the edges. Honestly.
Like I said, I looked at it and I just said leave it. Like, I don't have a muffler mod planned for it, so I just say leave it for now.
But so one thing I would do in there is I would angle this differently. This is from a dentist, okay? So you're coming up from a very high angle. I would come down more the angle of this.
More an angle. That's a good point.
So you try to match that rim.
And the other thing is you're going to want to, because of the direction of rotation here, you're going to want to actually drag this back. Right? Light. I don't got light right now, but. And then you can figure out how to actually square that up, and then we'll show everybody what we did. Wow. Right. All right. So you're squaring up the lowers, but you want to get it at the angle you need it. Once you get, as a dentist, until you have it right, the drill doesn't get turned on. Right? Get the setup right. Don't turn the drill on first and then try to do something, right?
Get comfortable.
Get comfortable first, then hit the button.
Gold piece of advice right there.
Have a look at that. Let me go get my flashlight too, because I got my nice flashlight. Show stuff.
They can kind of see it. They can kind of see it.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yep. Nobody cares about the tubby looking marine. Stop asking.
I'll try and do the other side of this now. There we go.
There it is.
Cheers.
We've been told to knock it off with the grinding because somebody's getting dentist PTSD.
Yeah. Is that Mega that said that? Probably.
I didn't see who it was.
That's probably Mega that said that.
I don't read fast enough. You have any crayons? I'm kind of hungry.
Actually, if you could, bring the feed up on your phone. So you can see the comments rather than having to watch over there.
Udal tubals.
I'll get a chair for you right here, too.
That's probably pretty good. Actually, that corner right there.
What am I searching?
Just for my channel, so Matthew Olson, just the name. Oh, LSON. That's it.
That's pretty even side to side. And they feel good too.
Even just a shade.
What the fuck?
This is just picky stuff, so. That's close enough there.
Sarah, what's up? PA Dan, hey, what's going on, dude?
we're doing is smoothing the lowers here. That way there's no lip. Does it make that much difference? Who knows?
So know how you are absolutely
That's nice.
correct that there's sales are kind of retarded and getting parts is next to impossible. You can't get parts for repairs on anything.
Those upward transfers are really nice from the factory.
Yeah, the uppers look good.
Square and sharp corners on that.
Just a quick hit it,
Andrew Olson.
That's my cousin,
I noticed.
who has his own channel too.
Really?
Yeah, Andy does, we'll call them vintage movie reviews.
Very well.
Yeah, Andy's kind of vintage himself, so, Although, technically speaking, I am the oldest cousin. But whatever.
Just means you're the old fart.
I'm just old. That's a better way to put it. Yeah, we're not going for full-on port job. It's just smooth. There was a lip here. Let's see if I can.
So Daryl Sarah says, tell us about the saw you're building.
So what's going on? This is a 288 that is basically completely blacked out. I've got black powder. We got powder, dye, powder everywhere. Black powder, dye, super nice stuff. OEM this, OEM that. Beautiful.
Brand new cylinder.
Brand new OEM head with a little bit. Just want to make sure the lips are, go on there. And that's nice. If you feel it with your finger, there's a lip. It's no good.
Blueprinting.
I don't know about blueprinting, but
We have the capacity. Not mentally, but
so what we did here was just put the block on with screws, and then if there's something that interferes, let's go this way. Let's do that. So if there's something that interferes with flow, you can actually tell that, okay, there's a lip. Like right there, you'd see a lip. So that's, you don't want that lip. But what you can do is to mark it, you can actually take a Sharpie pen and try to do it physically with a Sharpie. Or if you happen to have a Sharpie blowgun, like I do.
Sharpie blowgun.
Which is actually called, I'll show you guys this is called a Cineo spray pen. SYNIO, Cineo spray. So these are apparently very handy. You just drop the pen, the Sharpie in there and blow, and out comes color. You're just gonna drop it in, click, grab, there we go. And if you want color, let's see, how do we do this? You just shoot.
What the heck?
And it shoots color.
That's how we just did that.
So there's really no need for layout dye anymore. If you have this, there's no need for layout dye. You just, and it just shoots color.
How's that even possible? Is that good? Like, I'm actually curious thing.
So this is open. Okay, it's got a little vortices in there. And you blow down through. When the Sharpie drops in, it catches on the shoulder right before the tip. So when you blow on it, it concentrates all the air through the vortices around the pen body and applies more pressure across it, and the vacuum going across it sucks the ink out and wherever you spray it.
Pulls juice out and just hit it. And it's a quick way to spread color, and you can do lots of different colors. So that's how I'm actually marking all of the crank tools I'm using right now. With those, you just, and everything gets marked, and now it's all color coded. So that's cool. All right, here, put this back. If you would.
Stop pointing at me.
Thank you. Good. Okay. So we got to make sure this is clean, which it is. That actually looks pretty good.
Anything else we should grind on here?
I wouldn't grind anything more on this, at least not for now. If there's some type of adjustment that needs to be made, then that's fine, you know. Because the if this makes it to Rattler eventually, he's gonna
have to grind that corner of the cylinder
I might have already done that
to clearance it.
to clearance it, because sometimes you got to clearance the corners in order to get it to fully seat. So yeah, sometimes you got to clearance the corner. I don't know why, but anyway, stupid. It's one of those dumb fitment issues. Okay, so let's do. Make darn sure there's nothing, there's no grit or anything in here, which there isn't. Actually, this is quite clean. So let's get the piston on here, and then what we can do is put this whole assembly together.
1, 2, 3, go.
Go! Hit it. Piston first.
Even the piston's pretty nice.
John Rubel. It's not a Sharpie product. It's made by.
It's not a Sharpie product.
Private individual, and he markets. He 3D prints them, and it's marketed as Cineo spray.
I don't. It goes through one of the big 3D printing companies, and basically you buy it through them, and I assume that whoever designed it gets a commission on it. One such company is Shapeways. I don't know if Shapeways, the 3D, if this is a Shapeways thing or not.
Works good though.
Yeah, but with Shapeways you just upload files, 3D whatever, and
do it.
They print it. They print, package everything. So once your design is up, people can search for designs and they can just have them printed and shipped. So then whoever the original designer is out, except for making a commission on it, which is pretty nice. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, go ahead.
Another country heard from.
I'll put a little bit of 2-cycle on here. Not much. Hey, buddy. Just so you know, Christopher, we are live on the internet. We are live on YouTube.
Want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Millions of people are seeing you.
I don't know about millions.
Just like you're at the Super Bowl.
Maybe a lot. I don't know about millions. Okay, here we go. Let's do. Actually, I forgot to do Loctite first. All right, get it in order, Matt. I found one of my super special mountain boots.
Attaboy.
Cheers. So I'm going to drop some Loctite in here first. Make sure there's no residuals there. 1184. Don't always 1184 this, but for this one I'm going to. This is a fresh powder job on this. So if something's even off by a little bit, we're going to use a gasket here and some 1184, and there'll be a nice seal from the head to the deck here. Thing with 1184 is it is not anaerobic, which means that it will cure
While you're waiting.
while you're waiting.
Yes, it is supposed to build up a skim coat, but don't wait much past the skim coat, because then you're DUN done.
Done.
Here's your other clip.
Brand new gasket. So now, even if you can wait a little bit, the gasket is down. It'll tack there. That'll be fine.
As long as your holes are lined up.
Right. Oops.
Why can't I get the bolt in?
That's why. All right. So piston, arrow. How's the frame? We okay? Do I look good? That's important.
We can't see you, which is important.
Good. All right. So let's see. For this one, we'll put the piston on. This is all kinds of awkward here. Arrow to the exhaust. There are times to reverse the piston. I generally don't recommend that. You're fudging around with something else. Generally not recommended.
You can typically only do that once.
The one saw I've seen that had that done was blown up. So they had hooked a ring and like, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I know what happened.
Things went kerplowy. That's what happened.
Oops. Somebody took it to somebody else that thought that they knew what they were doing and clearly didn't.
Why you got a lot of those circlips in there? Somebody got your circlips or no?
Two, yeah. These are OEM clips, and they install one from the factory. I don't know why they give you two, but
Because they have a tendency to fly.
yeah, they do. So these are my X-Lite pliers, which I really like a lot, and Half Moon's ground in there to actually grab the circlip.
Custom tool.
Custom tools.
You're a custom tool.
And if you don't know how to do this, click. Hear that nice click? First try. The answer is practice.
And where do you orient the little the
ears?
ear? That's it.
I orient them at the bottom. You can do it at the top or the bottom, 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock, basically. I have a tendency to do it at 6 o'clock. That's just me. So this one is factory installed and it's at the top. I'm leaving it. Once somebody factory installs something, don't touch. Unless something's obviously weird, but I'll leave that. Okay. What's next?
Single run piston. Yes.
Single ring piston.
Is that a low top or a high top?
This will be a high top.
High top.
Why? I don't build anything but high tops.
I
I only have a few hundred high tops sitting around.
Yeah, you got plenty of spares for a couple years.
All right. So let's put this on the ground for now. For a quick minute.
You'll keep the 272 company.
Yeah, I keep. All right, gaskets. Always nice to have fresh gaskets. So we have a brand new. This is a Walbro carb. They come as Walbro or Tillotson. Masons run the Walbros, and you tend to prefer the Walbro, but Shetley prefers the Tilly.
That has no governor.
I like the Tilly. It flows more air, and you can remove the governor.
Mm.
The Tillys flow a lot more.
So far, I've seen the Walbros tend to tune better.
Tuning is always an issue with a Tilly.
So, whatever. Does it really matter? I don't know.
I've had crap ones at Winterwood.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's more aggravating than anything else.
Yes.
You throw away money at it. $25 kit and it doesn't work still. That's the aggravating part.
All right. So we're going to do...
288 carbs are still pretty readily available though, right? Shouldn't you need to replace it entirely?
Yes.
Yes. And they're also readily expensive.
Yes. Yes and yes. All right. So we have gasket, block, which we have checked to make sure that it's
Not cracked.
not cracked. We have another gasket. And we have our high top. And we
Oh, it's
have-
so uncomfortable to sharpen your chain with a high top. I say blankety blank that guy.
I know. All right.
Maybe stop trying to hump the saw. Maybe
Hey, you
let
know,
me use advice.
288s are not used in logging. You know, that type of thing. So
Maybe resting against this.
nobody likes them.
You know, actually, I worked with somebody today, and they did something I haven't seen yet. They bored into a stump that was about that high.
Mm-hmm. And then sharpen the saw. Yeah, that's how I was
one
taught.
of those like common sense things
That's
that
how I
I wish I
was
thought
taught.
about, you know.
Yeah. Especially if it's a fresh stump and you know what's the
It's
cut's
clean,
good.
yeah.
And then just let it sit.
And if you could do it at any height too, you know,
Mhm.
you don't have to be kneeling over on the ground.
Bending over, humping it.
I mean, what I usually do is I go in my truck.
Your cousin's taking off. He says, hasta luego.
All right, later, Andy. Thanks, man. Enjoy your evening.
Click,
Right. Not quite.
click. Torque wrench.
Your finely tuned elbow. When it goes click, you
Click.
ow. It's good.
Torque to yield.
So this actually goes together pretty well, just like that, and you know you've got everything
Set.
set. What I did
And don't
forget-
let anybody tell you to put 1184 on those gaskets. They crush down fine. Do not put sealant on.
right
the
for
carb
this.
gaskets.
If it's an old gasket, you might. A new gasket,
A new
no.
gasket, absolutely not.
Just makes
There's
it
no need. But we do need our head bolts.
Where are they?
I don't know. I thought that I had put them in here somewhere.
Did you keister the head bolts?
Well, I have plenty more. That's not a problem. It's just that I put them somewhere. I don't remember. No, they're not. They're not in one of those.
That looks fancy.
They would be.
Whoever wrapped those things wrapped them really good.
Yeah, that was Glock.
We're running it with a decomp.
With a 3120 decomp because the high tops are slightly deeper. So the 3120 decomps are what you want, and you have to run a little copper crush washers in there too, which I ordered a bunch of those.
Solution for every problem.
Right. There's, well, yeah. Wait a minute.
Just because the part number says that it fits only a certain model doesn't mean it only fit one thing.
It's a great way to get you to buy extra stuff.
Make it work.
Let's see if I can find head bolts. Hang on. Either they're in here by the gajillion, because I remember pulling a whole pile of them out, or they were in the 288 box, which is fine too. I don't know why they wouldn't have been in there to begin with, because if I had sent this to Rattler, he would have gotten upset with me and said, Maddie, where's the head bolts? And I'd be like, ooh, I don't know.
What are you looking for?
Just head bolts.
Head bolts.
So these are, yeah, so they're not here. Hang on.
Are those fucking 3/16?
They're 3/16
Yes.
quarter 20s. Yes.
Special.
Yes.
Yeah.
4.5 mil kind of fits sometimes if you try real hard.
If I try real hard, the original Loctite. Yeah, good.
Way to be unorganized, Matthew.
I got a gajillion of them. They're right here. Just a matter of. Here we go. So this is. So I'm keeping everything organized. Like this is my cylinder head, my 288 cylinder head
Holy shit.
bag, and so what do I not need right now? And the answer is any of these additional crush washers I don't need. So I can throw these back in the cylinder head bag because that's where they go, because they go with decompression valves, and the decompression valves go on the cylinder, therefore it goes in the cylinder bag, right? All right. I'm not OCD or anything. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Here we go. I think I have a few head bolts. Is that enough?
How did you lose the bolts on your ironing board workbench?
Well, you see, I really don't know what I'm doing. So,
Joke's on you. I'm lost in the sauce.
I've got tons of head bolts.
You guys say the idle screw on a 288. You've never seen another saw really like that other than maybe wait.
Did the
This one.
266s have them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen another saw with that kind of setup? I mean, what?
That's actually attached to the chassis. as
What?
opposed to attached to the carburetor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vibration.
Oh, who knows?
Actually, you know what? I know why they did it, for ease of access.
Maybe.
Because you're always touching. That's the adjustment you tweak the most, I
Yep.
guess.
Okay. Okay, now we have our head bolts. So I'm going to put a tiny amount of oil right there on the ring. Because what I'm going to do before I start it is I'm going to go back in through the exhaust. This guy's over here making fun of me. Having a good old time. All right. We've got our clips on. We've got oil. Oil. Hang on. You know, I like oil on everything internally.
For the first startup.
All two
Most
cycle.
important one.
Yep. Just 2-cycle oil. Nothing exciting. Mason, are you good with this?
It's not really mosquito season, so
Wait, what was that?
it's not really mosquito season.
You're knocking
Yep.
mosquitoes out.
Smoke adds to the character of this all.
And ideally you want to bring this somewhere on top dead center. Or bottom dead center, excuse me, bottom dead center.
So the 288 came in 2 flavors, single ring and double ring. And a double thin ring 288 is like unobtainium,
Completely unobtainium.
impossible to find. If I've seen people rebuild
The
blown up pistons.
181s you can find 181s with thin ring. I don't know about 288s. Finding a replacement, impossible.
Yeah, a lot of people will machine the original one and do everything they can to repair it to run the thin ring.
I don't know. We're gonna get plenty of compression out of this, and I didn't even check squish here. This is a stock build, so I'm not that worried about squish.
So your only real option with that thin ring saw is to just get like a meteor piston, I guess. Like
No, meteors are thick ring, twin thick. You
so
can't even
your
order the
option is,
meteor.
like, switch to a thick ring piston.
You can't even order the meteors in a thin ring.
That's for you. You just woke somebody up in like
Hold
New
on,
Zealand
hold on.
that's watching.
What's going on?
The 288s and the 394 share the same flywheel, or is it?
No,
The crank is the same.
it is the same flywheel. It is keyed differently.
What one is more advanced?
I don't remember.
That's interesting.
And it's the 394 flywheel. It's not the 395 flywheel. They are the same, technically the same model.
How many Ooga Doogas is that?
Not enough. That feels a little weird.
You know, cross-threading is a form of Loctite.
I understand, but that's not cross-threaded. That's good. Don't do that to me. Click.
Yep.
Click.
It's the highly calibrated elbow.
Click.
I only heard 3 clicks.
Full throttle.
No.
See, I had that issue on another on that other 288. And see, it's running into.
It's not aligned.
If this was further out, that's the AV mounts are in and good. Everything's straight. Why is it running into that? See, it runs into this. See this piece here? Click.
Maybe if you bend that over a little
Here.
bit.
Let me get this torque.
Well, that's the throttle stop too.
Yeah, that is the throttle stop, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not. This piece on the plastic is the throttle
That's
stop.
the idle thing, right?
It's not. That's not a. It's not a good idle stop. That's the idle
I
stop is
gotcha,
here.
I gotcha.
Yeah. See there?
And that's just that screws into this to make it idle faster. That's what that fin is for.
That. Sorry. That's the idle set fin. Yeah.
And that's what's hitting that. So what if you just bend that in just a little bit with plier?
Just grind it off.
Yeah, grind it.
Cut it
That's
right
a
off.
good point. Just grind it off.
Knock 30 thousandths off of it.
Grind it off. Grind it off.
Or bend it in, like you said.
When in doubt, get the torch.
You could grind the throttle rod too.
Let's get this
Torch.
torque.
Get the torch.
Torch. That's what I feel like that's the ultimate tool.
Well-
It can't be tight if it's liquid.
Oh God. Don't do that to me. Okay, here we go. I have to use my right hand for this. Here's the idle screw. That's not going to work. Need a better screwdriver for that.
Is it me or the 288 case seems like it's stronger than a 394 case?
I've seen a lot of broken 394 and 395 cases.
Because this thing doesn't have that that crossover over the top, you know what I mean? That's always broken. That goes over the top of the flywheel. Because that doesn't have that thing.
Right,
The
true.
place. And that whole back half is metal instead of plastic.
Yeah, and it's thick.
That probably helps the rigidity a lot.
I would imagine.
Because the 288 is pretty solid. Like I wouldn't. Like it's heavy. Definitely, it's heavy.
It's definitely heavy, but they're
Just
just,
solid.
it's a tank.
It's built to take abuse. Yeah.
The other option is to grind here.
I'd grind a lever.
Yeah.
Well,
not gonna hurt it.
Here's what you have. You have that far to grind on the lever. Yeah, we'll show what's going on. It's clicking. This part of the lever here is hitting the plastic before this goes to full throttle. So you never full throttle.
You could grind either one. And you're not where the idle screw is setting against it. Come on, focus, dummy. Well, the idle screw sets against that lip. You can grind almost half of that lip off and it's not going to bother anything.
What would it take to bend that? Just for giggles here.
For poopies and ha-has,
For absolute ha-has.
probably a pair of needle nose.
Needle nose.
Let's see if I can get this out of the
Too
way.
long. Yeah.
More leverage. Leverage's our friend.
Well, you know what? Quarters here. Is that what you?
Because if no grinding is involved,
I feel like Mario has every single part that you need for a chainsaw here. It's just a question of finding it.
so I bent it. Have a look now, because it's not going full now, but look at how close it would be this way. So I need a little bit more bend.
Hmm.
So I'll bend it a little more. And then see if the idle still works. That's the thing is, if I can
You might
bend
have to
this,
screw in the screw more, right?
Yeah.
yeah, you're just gonna need to screw that in more. Which,
There's probably enough adjustment.
well, Now it's bent completely down. And
Now
you
it's
have-
broken.
Now you have zero idle adjustment.
Now it's broken.
But does it get to full throttle? And the answer is no. Sort of. It's not like we're not using OEM parts here, too. This is OEM stuff, which would drive me berserk, personally.
No, it's going full throttle.
See, just hit it. Good. There is a little more to go, but I think once it breaks in,
I'm
it'll
going
be
to say,
good.
I think that's the rotation of this. It's catching up on this lip right here.
Yep. Yeah.
Another option.
Put a piece of tape.
Well, I have heat shrink.
Put a piece of heat shrink
Basically,
over.
make that a little bit thicker.
Yep.
All right. So now I got to bring that other. I tell you what, I'll grind off a little bit on there, and then we'll. It's these damn little tweaking things that just makes a guaranteed pain in the ass to put together.
Junk.
Oh God.
Or you can just take a screwdriver and just
Wouldn't have this problem with a pool on.
What do you want to do?
push that out, man.
Right, but you don't want to put pressure on the throttle.
Yeah,
shaft.
you can't, because you'll pop that.
Yeah, you want needle nose? What was it? Right
There.
there.
That's good. Try that.
You can always adjust it more when you run the saw too. Just take a needle nose, you know.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grind on the plastic.
I would put the heat shrink on it first.
Then all the way. Because I don't think how much I don't trust it.
Put the heat shrink on. Oh,
Put the heat shrink on first.
Is that screwed in all the way?
No.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah,
So
bottom
we'd
right
have
out.
to-
Is it bottom? No, it didn't bottom out.
Yeah, it did bottom out.
No. That's still got plenty of room to go.
Oh, geez, Mason, you didn't wash behind your ears.
The screwdriver. The problem is that slot in the screw is not deep. For the screwdriver.
Let me mess with that. Let me get the heat shrink.
Let's bottom this
So-
out and see.
Like Mason was saying, in case you're wondering if I have enough heat shrink,
Let's bottom it out.
I kind of have a whole shopping bag full of it. So
Do you have paint?
I have red. Let's do red.
We should put pink on there.
Let's do red.
I know the guy who owns this saw. He likes pink.
What are you saying about me? What are you saying? Actually, no, I got blue. Here's a piece of blue. Is that better?
Yeah, I bottomed it out before to see how much I had to go before. There we go. That's, I mean, I think that's enough adjustment. And you're just gonna have to grind it. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to grind a good amount. One second, actual bad idea. And put it back.
You think you're twisting it?
Yeah, here, put it down.
You get.
These pliers aren't stiff enough.
No, they're definitely not stiff enough.
Yeah.
Leave that. Hang on, let me look.
Those will do it.
Those will do it. That'll get it, did.
Hang on. Let me grind on the plastic, then I'll put that on, and we'll have plenty of room.
If the pliers were stiff enough,
Just
twist it.
you put this heat shrink on before you grind the plastic.
Hang on. I will. Well, because the plastic is limiting right now. That's the thing. It's not the heat. It's not anything else. It's the plastic. That's one of the stupid thing.
Doctor, performing surgery. Loud noises.
Almost.
Yes, it's the idle linkage. That little bar for the idle adjustment is catching up on the bottom of
Perfect.
the
That's
lever,
awesome.
the throttle lever that pushes across that.
It really
Rotating
wasn't that
assembly.
much, it was just that ridge on the plastic.
Yeah. So let's make sure now that this.
I still say heat shrink it.
Oh yeah, it's turning.
Okay, so that's perfect. That's
yeah,
fine.
it's got adjustment. I bet it where you can almost feel where metal has like a memory.
Mm-hmm. It gets a
Where it
little
kinda
soft spot
like-
in there, yeah.
And then if you go
It's a
too
little happy
far,
place.
Is that appropriate?
Yes. Ooh, blue.
oh boy, no gas in it, right?
Hope not.
We would have known by now.
I guess we're gonna find out, huh?
I'm gonna stand over here.
It only hurts for the rest of your life. What are you so afraid of?
Putting heat shrink, plastic on plastic.
If that don't get you to full throttle now, feel that bottom right out, perfect. Which is dumb because they're OEM parts that should just fit and friggin' go together. But
Yeah, you're right. That does feel a lot better because you get see now it's like bottomed out.
Yep.
It's like because it'll wear in good.
Yep, and you'll still have a little trigger
Because the
left.
more you use it, it's gonna.
Yep.
It's plastic.
Yay, we fixed something.
so
It's a miracle.
what are we doing now? Let's do wires now. What do you think? Should I put this the back screw in? Does it really matter?
That
Yes.
one's always stripped on. Mine was stripped there too.
That's I think
How
I
does that
welded
even
this
show?
piece, but I don't know.
It's not even used.
Right? Well, the thing is, people don't tighten it all the way because it's at that weird angle.
Mm.
And then it starts vibrating, and the plastic just whacks the little bolt back and forth, and it just wallows that little hole right out. And then you go to tighten it up, and you're, oh, it's strapped.
And it's pretty thin there too, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's like not that many threads for it.
It's a very short screw in there.
Stripped already.
No, I just
Drop it.
again. No, I need a Dremel
Deeper.
that. I need to Dremel it. Just I gotta kiss it. Hang on. Again, a little tiny part. You just kind of gotta.
Is that OEM neck?
No, that's the new aftermarket ones. The regular for the high tops. So if anybody wants these aftermarket elbows, which have been unobtainium for like the last 20 years, and it doesn't. This is not one of those parts that you have to have OEM. It's absolutely not a problem to have aftermarket. They are at HL Supply, or you can actually get them on my website too, if you buy a top. I don't sell them separately.
Yes, we definitely don't edit out the mistakes. It's part of the fun. And it's a learning experience for everybody else because they see what we mess up or they see the problems we run into, so you can expect it. You know, a lot of people just kind of flash through all the mistakes and the boogers and warts and everything else.
I don't know if this will work because this is diamond. It's not really intended to cut.
compression went up a lot in this thing.
That's healthy.
It wasn't doing that before. It was like
Buck hasn't seen that one yet.
it didn't seem that but it definitely seated in.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a that's my 266 that I put a 272 head on, and that top cover is
so
not
small. Too.
is not supposed to
See,
fit.
so I'm getting
It's
tight.
nice.
That's 346. It's
Yeah.
like almost the same size. I mean, I know a 270, an actual 272 is like physically bigger, but that's a low top, I think. That's a low top.
Low top.
Just like cars, they did it for years. Small car, big engine.
Mm.
Same thing. Small chassis, big motor.
So all I'm trying to do is the plastic was just in the way of kind of getting this bolt straightened up.
The 500i is almost like a small chassis, big motor.
It's kind of
Big
an
motor.
eyeball sized chassis.
And it would be easier to get this straight if
It's kind of like a 385,
Yeah.
but it's lighter.
The 385 is small for its chassis.
Small.
I mean, you figure it's the
85
same.
cc.
Yeah, it's the same chassis as the 390 and the 395.
hopefully I got
There we go.
Yeah, those eyeball sizes kind of like 60, 80. I don't know.
I'm gonna say if you could get like a 372 cylinder on, a 357, that would be absolutely perfect. I
it'd be
mean,
made
good
for just
power.
about anything.
Yeah, good power, nimble, not too heavy. You could run a long bar, short bar.
That's nice. That feels nice. Okay. Next. So everything about this saw is custom. Of course.
Factory parts that won't work.
Custom faded. Custom. So I actually had this all ready to go. This is a momentary off switch from a 540 XP.
Yep. So
if you like that,
and funny thing is they're the same price.
right, they're the same price. You might as well use the momentary switch. That way it's always on. You don't have to worry about
That's
This-
a nice touch.
And the
Yeah.
switch going bad.
you don't have to worry about the switch going back. Right. So I may have to tuck that up later.
I'm gonna say those ears are probably a little bit tight.
The only thing here is I gotta take this and move it up.
What's this?
Sorry. The kill wire, the blue one,
Has to be bent up out
needs
of the
to be
way.
bent up out of the way so it doesn't interfere with your throttle rod. And this goes around. So this is a 372 grounding strap that I soldered to the other side of the kill because this has to be ground to chassis somewhere, and the best spot is actually underneath the coil here.
Yes. Oh, somebody just checked in there. I'll have to check. Hold on, stand by.
Wait, so you would use the kill wire from the 372 if you were putting that on the 372?
Roadrunner M, good evening to you
Is
as
that
well.
black wire?
Yes, you could use the kill wire from the 372 because they're both plug-ins.
So, Daryl Sarah
Yep.
says Mason is a chainsaw guru, and John Rubel said he's a real class act. Look at that. People like you.
Now, if we could figure out why.
It's 125 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal.
Uh-huh. It's twisty.
Oh, John Tobin from Ireland.
John Tobin from Ireland. Wonderful.
Good evening to you.
All right, so what I'm doing is I'm putting the upper coil on right now, and underneath.
Why don't you turn the saw 90 degrees so
Yeah, I know.
everybody can see?
I'm kind of thinking. Let me get this in, and then I'll turn it.
Whee!
So here's the reason that we had to do the kill wire like this is because for the 540 XP switch, there's actually 2 prongs as opposed to here's the regular kill switch for a 288, which actually grounds out to the chassis, basically directly to the chassis with a screw. There's actually a bolt hole, or should be a bolt hole there to ground that out. The old school switches, like on that 266, ground to the chassis physically the sides with the grippers. That's ground, which is kind of dumb, but whatever.
And they always clog up with stuff and corrode, and you
Right.
can't shut this off.
And then you can't shut this off. So the 540 XP actually has 2 of these nubs, and it's easiest for the kill wire there, the 372 kill wire, just solder it on, and then the blue wire you can just put on top, and it's fine.
John said he got the black and white high tops from HL Supply, and he's very impressed with the quality.
Awesome. You can tell people is yes, go to HL Supply and buy them, and then I make no money. Fantastic. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's good. Got to get the word out. I got to sell these things somehow, or just get them out of my shed or out of my basement because I've got too many. Okay, what are we doing? Putting this on, right? So anyway, the ground here this is a nice spot to ground it. It's convenient.
It is all right to use dielectric grease on those grounds because it actually helps to keep the corrosion to a minimum if your saw sees a lot of weather.
These are M4, not M5, so these are smaller. You gotta go easy.
Itty bitty little fellers.
Okay, click. Red wire. The red wire clicks in here and then over. The question is, do I want to bring it in first? Maybe in first. So on this side, there's this hole here that the wires go through.
It is definitely easier to get it through there first.
Yeah.
Because you're not fighting with it. The hemostat's the easiest way.
Where'd they go? Here they are.
Well, it just so happens to have a set.
Amazing.
Who'd have thunked it?
And the dumb thing is I didn't actually get these from the office.
I bought them.
I bought them. I forget where. I think it was at the Reconstruction Center, actually. We happen to have a set there, but oh, sweet. Got them at the office, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Fine. There was a rubber piece.
What kind of fish is that?
That's a striper. Out of the Connecticut River, out of Rocky Hill.
Holy shit. Wow.
50 pounds, 4 ounces.
You guys eat that thing?
No, I don't eat fish. But that's me. 09.
Wow, that's you.
Yeah. That's not very nice.
Fucking
Just jerk.
Oh, you hurt my last feel.
Oh.
Oh. All right, I'm over
I call it how I see it.
it.
What's wrong with being honest?
Well,
Honesty is the best policy.
until it's not.
Yeah, until it's not.
Yeah, I'm a terrible liar.
You don't date much, do you? Oh.
All right, so now we got the nice wires coming out here.
Oh, I even got that grommet in there too.
Yep, put the grommet in.
Yeah, that's important, right?
So then we
I
can do
usually
is
just heat shrink the wires to protect them.
actually put
Something to
these
keep them
on.
from chafing.
I'm a big fan of heat shrink.
Yeah.
It's sacrificial, and it's cheap, and it does a lot.
It works.
It works.
They use heat shrink on those connections right there.
Yeah.
That's good enough for that. That's
Yeah.
probably even better than the grommet.
Yep. Nope. Heat shrink is good. Don't be bashful to use it. I know somebody
It's better than
who.
electrical tape.
Yes. I know somebody who had a wrap handle, and they couldn't get the wrap handle, the actual plasticky shit onto it. So I just took heat shrink, put it on there, and burn it right down. It worked fine.
Yep.
Hey, whatever.
Better
Better than nothing.
Well, Glock actually, he's got like the technique down now to do handles.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got
the soapy water and the air gun. And...
I don't know what he does, but apparently it's a technique. And for some saws, he needs 2 people.
Air pressure, maybe.
There's air and probably soapy water.
I'm gonna say soapy
else.
water, some air, and you just kind of wedge it in there and bleh, and it involves some hip techniques and
Yeah.
there's a lot of thrusting
Choice
and
vocabulary.
yes. Put it this way: if a nun had to do it, she'd make you blush. Matt, you done yet?
No,
How about now?
definitely not.
Okay, just checking.
They use red instead of black like they usually do, right? Because one of those wires has always been blue, but on the 372.
Some of them are red, some of them are black. Depends on the saw. A lot of the older saws ran red.
Click it all in. This is not the best shroud, but it'll work. What else? This piece.
Audi Giant says he just put together clones. I think he
That's
said
important.
660,
That's actually missing on that.
and he said the
that
saw run is good, but the tensioner is garbage.
Yeah, that's the typical.
Just put a steel one in there.
Put a steel one in and call it.
Any chance of some gray 288 full wrap handles becoming available?
288 full wrap handles?
OEM ones? Probably not.
Like never. The only ones are the pro safety ones, if you can find them, and they're $200 a shot for full wraps.
And that doesn't come with the dogs either. Those pro safety dogs were big sellers back in the day.
So, blacked out, OEM, dyed.
even the handle is black. That's nice.
Handles black. This is actually a clone of the 455
Ooh,
Ranger.
I like that. I like the blue and black.
Yeah, you got the
like
blue
That's
and black.
classy. That's classy.
That's good rope too. That's good rope.
Yeah, good enough for who it's for.
Good enough for who it's for.
Just like good enough for the girls we date.
Wait a minute.
Oh, oh.
Yes. Just gotta make sure that line's out the way.
Yeah, don't pinch the wire.
Trying not to.
Pay attention when you're putting the recoil on, because the wiring runs a very specific path, and if you're off at all.
It's missing the joint box for the day.
It's missing what?
The joint box for the day. That's what that box is for there. That's why they put that box there.
I'm not liking that. Hang on.
How many of
No,
you
I
had
think,
today?
I think actually, you know how like some of these saws, like the 262, they have that box. Like, you know, you could take the screw out and there's like a cap. Yeah, on the 262, there's like actually a chamber there, and I think they were gonna make like auto tune of some sort to put in there.
Oh,
Like back in the day, they were like somehow developing it, but
oh, I was gonna say, how many of you had today?
zero.
Joints in a box, huh?
Zero. Yeah, we gotta remember this is YouTube.
Yeah. Wait, so there's a bet on one of the betting websites for the Super Bowl on whether or not Snoop Dogg is gonna smoke the wacky tobacco on stage in the halftime show.
Probably.
There's an actual bet.
I wouldn't
That
bet
guy's
against that.
always-
Why would I bet against that?
Actually, if you think about it, it's a pretty good bet because the NFL has a brand and their contracts and all that stuff are pretty intense. So they might be part of his contract that he can't do anything like that at all. But Snoop Dogg also has a brand, and that is, I do what I want. So I don't know. That might be a good bet.
It was a bad bet to sign
So
him then.
what's the bet that he's gonna? What again? During what the Super Bowl?
The halftime show. He's one of the headliners of the halftime show.
He's the headliner. Oh, so he's one of the commentators or something?
No,
No.
the halftime show
It's the show.
where they go and like dance and sing and do all that goofy,
At
stupid crap
halftime.
at halftime.
Yeah.
Did you Loctite those?
No. This may need to be taken apart, so we're not going to lock that.
Daryl Sir says you're real funny. Oh yeah, don't be me and accidentally drape one of the wires, because you can see how they run real close in there. Don't drape one of the wires so it drops into the fan in there and gets chopped to pieces.
Yeah, that's kind of what we got going right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
You got a decal for that thing, or do we need a decal?
No. A decal? Probably not. No.
Take the tread place over.
Yeah, go ahead. I have to see. That shroud is old and
No longer available.
difficult to get currently. It's not impossible. It's just really hard to get. So I don't know if I don't think I have another one as the problem. So in order to get this thing running, what are we gonna do? If I had to guess, I don't think I have another shroud if I can find one. But I don't think I have one. I've got plenty of OEM covers.
That's the new style decal.
Yeah.
It's like almost the same shape though. It's a different shape somehow.
See, this should have clicks in there, and it's not clicking in really.
Well, I got it in there.
I know that's what I did too, but as soon as you touch it, it wants to come out. There's nothing really that holds it in either.
What if you put some zip ties and just
Right.
Zip ties and bias plies.
zip tie them on?
Get a little super glue. Just a little doop, doop.
How about some 1184?
That'll work too.
Doop, 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 doop.
Give it a little bloop.
You do that.
Where's my 1184? Where'd that go? It wasn't here. It should be right here. It's
You
not.
had it last.
That's true.
It's not here.
Here, it's right here. It's disguised. I just need to let this tack for like
So
2
what's
minutes.
this not staying where it needs to?
No, it's not that. That one we can kind of finagle.
Finagle, it's the red one.
The red one, yeah.
The red ones like to walk and get chewed up.
And this is no good here either. These channels here, which is where the wires are supposed to go, it never actually,
They won't sit in there.
it doesn't want to sit in the channel. I've never seen it sit well in those channels. Is that Drew making fun of us?
No.
Part of the problem with dealing with 30-year-old swings.
Part of it.
30-year-old part. Nothing lasts forever.
Herpes does.
Well, a heartbeat. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Something about vengeance. Okay.
You could just put some tape on the wires.
I've heard some stories. Oh, God.
I mean, once this thing's on top of them, it should hold them in place a little bit.
No, it doesn't at all.
It doesn't.
Nope. This entire wide open area here is where the wires run.
So if one of those were to get sucked into the flywheel, it would not be
It
a
would
good
be the
thing.
opposite of good, yes.
It probably pulled the whole.
I've had it happen on a 350. All of a sudden it shuts off. You're like, what?
Did it pull the shroud in that flywheel too?
No, all it has to do, it doesn't even have to cut all the way through the wire. It just has to chafe it enough to short out, and it'll short out and kill it.
That's annoying.
That will actually do it, I think. Good. Don't move.
You got the black 660 back.
I do have the black 660 back. It's fine, except, well, look at it. Look at how it broke.
Well, first off, there's 100 bucks.
Well, that's to repair it, but look at where the chain brake broke. It's an OEM chain brake. He said he didn't drop it or anything. You ever seen a chain brake break like that?
Yeah,
Yes.
So there's no way where the muffler would go to this because it broke further back behind it.
The only thing I can think of is just old.
It was probably just a cold day and he probably just hit it just right.
I hit it in just the right way. Click,
Sucks.
click.
Because I remember one time he had me test the 394 and I went to hit the chain brake.
Ping.
It literally, like, it barely touched it. It was just the aftermarket chain brake, but the plastic when it got cold.
Those are heinous. They're such low quality.
Alright, so now this. Oh man, I put the wire. See, that's
Right in the
not gonna
way.
work. It's in the way.
You tuck it under.
You tuck it under.
You can fish it under there.
Alright, fine.
I have confidence in you.
Ha. Okay, the blue wire gets tucked under.
You can run the red wire under, but it's kind of a pain.
Could you just put it under the curb?
You can, but that plate moves a little bit, and you got a chance of chafing it.
Well, you're supposed to put it so it locks into the plate here. And with this particular wire,
Supposed to, and two are two very different.
It's funny though when you work on it, saw it's really old. Sometimes the wire has like a memory. It just like
this is brand new wire. I've got brand new OEM wires here.
they're just not used to. They're not comfortable yet.
Is this 288 a Farmer Tech kit? Absolutely not. Everything is OEM.
Even though it's kind of going together like a furniture.
It is going together like a Farmer Tech kit, though.
I think that's probably the problem with dealing with such a wide variation of years though that they made the same song though. That maybe there's slight differences, you know.
That and the fact that the quality control on those Husqvarna made kits are less than optimal. Hell, I'd be happy with suboptimal.
Okay, so the red wire is actually on. That's about as neat and tidy as you're going to get. The red wire gets tucked and tucked and tucked and tucked here, tucked under there, tucked in here, and then down.
And the blue wire goes underneath.
Goes underneath this black piece, which is the guide for the idle screw, for the high and low screws. Yeah.
On six.
And this should just full throttle, no problem. that. Okay. Not too far away from a pop here. So let's cut the fuel line to where it's comfy here.
Always leave a little bit extra for a service loop.
I like a little bit of grease. Not a lot.
Nice new fuel line.
Brand new. This is steel R3 fuel line.
Good stuff. Expensive, but good stuff.
Expensive. Compared to Husky line, it's cheap
Yes.
because you can buy it in a 30-foot roll.
It actually holds up pretty good too.
But, you know, something else I forgot to apparently send, a choke rod.
What?
Choke rod.
I don't think I was going to send a choke rod. Now, the good news is I have tons of them, but
Get a piece of wire and tie it to
Right.
fuel. Get a paper clip and put it around there and
right. No, we're not going to do that. So the 288 choke rods are a dime a dozen.
proprietary model.
They're really not bad. It's the 394 choke rods that are impossible to find.
And no, you can't modify a 288 to work with a 394 because they're
Correct.
different sizes.
They would work, except one is upside down. So it won't, essentially. And sorry, again, complete disorganization, I understand. I'm actually not disorganized, I just don't have my choke rod for something. Where is it? Up there. So, do I have a few? Yeah, I've got a few choke rods. Just a matter of finding.
You shouldn't drive a lot of them.
That one decent.
Decent. I think I have a black one. I got it. Oh. How about, is that one decent?
Oh, it's like brand new.
Foobarred completely. Okay,
It's
here we go.
expired.
That one's expired. Toss in the garbage. This one's good. This will be fine.
So
Put this on in through. There's
See,
a
when
fresh
black-
new rubber grommet here.
and it's black too.
Black.
Must have come off at Johnston.
Maybe. Good point. The 272 of these might actually be compatible.
It's funny though, that one has a black choke rod too. It just sits.
Click. Beautiful.
The clip's nice, huh? Oh yeah, man, that's actually,
That's mint, huh?
It's got a nice solid click to it.
you know, when it's operating smoothly like that.
Okay. Next. What's next? What do we do next? I don't know. I don't know how to build this up. Okay. You know what we could do? Can we actually throw a... We get a compression number now. Throw a handle on it and go for it? We gotta get a compression number?
If you want.
Or
Or
the
we
handle right there.
put
Let's
the
do
muffler on it.
We can put the muffler. Yeah.
The muffletizer. Oh man, you must have pissed off everybody. There's only 3 people now.
That's okay.
Nobody likes you.
Okay. This is a brand new tank, by the way. This is
Wow.
a new OEM tank. So that's the problem with these bolts. They really don't want to go.
They're good and snug.
Now they're down on the floor.
Right there.
They're snug on the floor. Okay. I wish I could find a black handle, but I can't have everything I want.
Dye would do it.
It might on the rubber, but it might not. Nylon takes the dye. I don't know if rubber would. on there. It's not going anywhere.
Let me hold it.
Yeah, as usual. Yeah, you hold it so it's. We'll get one and then we'll get the other.
Wow, the handle must be tweaked or something.
No, it's pre-tensioned. It's done on purpose.
Man, what's this? A farmer tip too?
No, it's a highway handle, which are generally pretty good, but in this case,
There we go. Now
I have never had good luck with a highway handle.
I've had very good luck with the 288 highway handle, except for the fact of lining them up. Good, done. Tell me that doesn't feel nice for a highway handle. Too bad it's gray.
I wonder if they grip on there to work it in this time.
Some of them. So you know what I did on a couple of saws? I made a little plate right here.
Yeah.
That stood out with a couple of teeth, so they would actually stand up and hold.
They
up.
don't roll down the hill on
They
you.
don't roll.
Yeah. All right. Before we do that, let's. I'm gonna put a little bit of
Yes.
lubrication. I know WD-40 isn't lube. I get it. Everybody yells at me about that.
It's better than brake clean for lube. See, I can't do that anymore.
It's kind of tweaky, admittedly. All right. The decomp's on.
All right, so feel free to bleep bloop in the comments what you think we're going to get for compression.
We're down at 0. Mason, you pull.
Just holding it.
Yep. Okay. Oh. 120 plus. Get rid of the decomp here. $155. That's healthy. Yeah, almost 160. That's healthy. Good.
It'll probably go up more.
Oh yeah.
It'll go up more when it breaks in.
That's plenty healthy for a stock saw. Of course, we didn't even check squish, but it won't matter here for what we're doing. I had a spark plug. There it is. Randy new here.
Hedging his bets. 180, 190, 200. Is this Price is Right rules, closest without going over.
All right. Good.
Get the old torqueometer on there. Now, do you clock your plugs?
For this, I won't need to. I have on a 350 where I knew it was going to contact, and so you can make marks and whatnot. Yeah.
One thing I do like a pull out of my saws, though, if I know the plug's staying in there a while, is anti-seize.
Yep.
Because I've had a couple of them where I almost couldn't get them off.
Dielectric grease will work a lot better than anti-seize because dielectric grease is more water resistant and it doesn't dry out because dielectric grease or anti-seize will dry out and it'll turn like chalky and it's hard to break it apart.
So this muffler comes from Glock. He powdered this and opened it real nice. So this should give us some nice nice crackles and popples and sounds.
That's nice muffler mod. It's interesting how that one has the thing on it like that.
Yeah, it looks like he drilled that for us too.
Yeah.
That's good.
Drilled what? Can't see it on the camera.
That. You know what's interesting is my
very nice.
my 288 muffler doesn't have that in it. It doesn't have that turn down. It's just
Right.
Yeah. No. A 576 number.
Okay. That's my buddy that owns that Johnson Road down there.
Oh, that big, scary looking son of a bitch.
That makes sense.
Yes.
All right, so we have muffler, gasket. You know what?
Leonard Virtue says it looks good.
Hey, Leonard. What we're missing is the muffler. Hang on.
I'm going to say, where's the... There it is.
Speaking of parts,
Oh, is this it?
that's the front. What's this thing? I was looking for that, but we forgot about that. the big
Yay,
spring.
it's Christmas. Whee!
What's this?
I have no idea. Next one? That
One of
one's
these
nice
was
one.
cracked. This one's cracked. He powdered it anyway, but you want to take that, try to weld that? Oh, you take that and try to weld that.
If only I had a TIG welder.
Well, you know,
It's too bad it didn't crack where the hole is, so it would just be like superficial.
Right.
Alright, so now we got to pull this back off because I forgot this one part. That, what the heck, right? So now this goes in here
This is paper thin now.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not-
that's not going to take much.
I haven't bought it. I haven't built it to a
This-
little while.
This might have been corroded already, and when it was sandblasted, it made it thinner, you know.
Now we put lock pad on this. You put my choke rods away. Just slap them over there somewhere.
This was like the frame on my other truck. That piece right there.
Unofficially
I
sponsored.
still can't get over how heavy duty this thing is. It's like a suspension for a car.
They take a lot of tension.
How much battery do I have on the phone?
I have no idea.
Good.
On site says he inherited a 288 XP and it's got a rotted fuel line. Not hard to change.
The good news is it's not hard to change. The bad news is you're doing a split on that crankcase.
Yes, you are.
Because at this point in time, they all need split. Don't even think about it. Just split it.
Just
I've
do it.
got-
New seals.
I've got tons of videos on splitting 288s.
And he said on replacing the fuel line with minimal taking it apart. Absolutely not.
Nope.
Just
Just split it. Don't even think about it. The thing is, you're thinking too much right now, and you're thinking you can get away with things, and you're wrong. And that sucks, but that's the way 288s go. Think of it this way: if you have a car, right, and your car is 10 years old, what are the odds? Actually, there we go. What are the odds the rubber is still good on anything? Well, same thing with a saw.
if it's old enough that that the rubber fuel line rotted out, then it's a pretty good solid chance that the seals are gone as well. And you don't want to pork that cylinder.
Look at the interior on 90s cars now. They're all like the plastic's all
All
dashboards.
faded and everything, yeah. So in general, just don't even think about it. Just split it.
It's not that hard. There's plenty of videos on doing it. You can do it yourself at home.
Yep.
It's really a classic car in terms of the chainsaw.
Exactly.
It is.
So these are nice. All the parts are not perfect, but they're all powder coated, high temp powdered by Glock. So if anybody wants to get in touch with him, they want powdered work done. Glock
That's a
37
That's a single port muffler, right?
single.
Yeah, big single.
I think this thing might have. Is this a Glock muffler too?
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing actually sounds pretty nice.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because it's an aftermarket cylinder too.
That's the aftermarket 272 cylinder that I had sitting
Yeah.
around here.
Some of them I've had good luck with, and some of them are just atrocious.
Okay, now what do I need to do?
Ideally, I need, you know what?
This is where this little guy?
Your new tool.
Yeah.
Your ratchet.
I got a free ratchet.
Free ratchet. Now I can take this and do these without necessarily over torquing them with the big.
Those don't like being over torqued because then you will not get them out of the head without breaking them, and then it's a big catastrophe trying to get them out.
And since this head is perfect, that's tight.
Joe Johnson says, "Happy Saturday, Dare."
Happy Saturday. Who wants to hear a pop? Should we pop? Should we? Is it time to pop this? I think it's time to pop this.
Because
Hopefully the clutch don't go flying off. But other than that, we have to do the clutch cover. The top cover is no big deal, of course, and the filter. Did I not send him a filter? Is that filter? I could look at that box. Did I not send a filter? I better have sent a friggin' filter. It would be in a small box.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, come on. Alright, whatever. Let's see. Oh, so I do have, I think in here I put the big filter in too. So this is actually the 3120 filter, I think.
Did you have to put a stainless screw in the bottom of it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because some of the 3120 filters aren't weighted, and they float.
Interesting. Well, we'll find out about this one.
I was predicting your next week.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the 3120 filters aren't weighted. They don't have that thing in there.
That's right. They don't have the thing in there.
Not a lot of
So,
fuel.
A
in
lot of
it.
the aftermarket ones, yeah. A lot of the aftermarket ones don't have a weight.
I don't
So
know
you
if
just
it's
get
gonna suck it up.
a stainless screw and put it in the bottom.
The aftermarket ones, you said.
Yeah.
So this is always on. So all you got to do is turn it if we're turning it off.
Hey, we did something wrong. It runs. Ooh, it smells good too.
Tight meat
Yeah.
man perfume.
So
Exhaust, brake
Exhaust.
clean, and WD-40.
we don't know if it continually runs. So here, hang on.
May or may not
Let's
cause
set-
cancer in the state of California.
Set the choke. Because I don't know if it's going to suck fuel up. That was just the brake cleaner. Okay. Mid idle and choke off.
Hey, we got a dancing clutch.
And that's how you catch a clutch.
That's how you
Yeah.
catch a clutch.
Yeah, don't put it on the side because you're gonna be chasing it for an hour.
Burn it with
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
leg on the table too.
Yeah, and the clutches tighten themselves, but where'd it go? Okay. Or else we can just take off for now.
And you got a million of those. So.
But that runs right nice. Okay. You want to do the clutch cover? Because that's kind of next. No, not the top cover. Clutch cover. Where's the clutch cover? And then we got to put the big spring on.
Your clutch cover's over there.
Right.
I have no idea how to put it to a clutch cover together.
Are you serious?
I know how to put a 394 clutch cover together.
Here we go.
That's
They're all
the only one
basically
I've
nothing
done.
alike.
Don't worry about the screws. I've literally got 3,000 of them.
I got it. Ah. A lot of times those rubber things won't fit in with the powder coat. You gotta.
Nope, this is actually the wrong.
Is that a short tail?
It's the old style.
The old style or something like that. I don't know. That's okay. I've got brand new OEM clutch covers there. Pull that rubber out of there.
Oh, I got you a Yangle angle.
Huh. Looks like the same thing.
You should have a longer tail on it. Yep, that's got the longer tail on it.
It's the same design, though. Is that different?
It is different.
Yep.
That's different. This is actually, this may not be 288.
That's not 288. It looks like the 266.
Might fit that saw, I don't know. That one doesn't have one.
Ooh, rip this one off. Use your big man muscles. These poor old handicapped people can't do that.
See, what I realized though in life, sometimes it's not about strength, it's about like your leverage.
Like I said, leverage is our friend. Need any of this other stuff?
No, I think I have it all here.
That's different in mine though, like mine's metal chain brake and it has different.
Yep.
There's a
The
different
metal chain
size
brake, the
sticker.
entire thing is different.
They changed it so many times.
Right?
Are the brake bands different between?
Yep, that
Yeah.
brake band's different too.
Wow.
And never mind, pull that apart. This actually looks like a 394 band.
Begin disassembly process, sir.
Yeah. That's a 394 band.
Come into the light so everybody can see what you're doing.
Well, that's a real quick short trip that I didn't want to take. This that goes to 384. Okay.
That's
Mine. Yep.
Yeah, punch this thing out or something, or take that E-clip out of here. The E-clip.
Oh, yeah, just give it a little pop. Keep your thumb on the other side of it. Yep. So it pops into your thumb. Here. This works good for him.
Yeah. That's better.
Trust the old government issue leathering.
Thanks.
The spring just gets tapped down.
Is this thing gonna fly out when I
No.
release it instead?
No.
Is it popped?
You didn't need to. Actually, you didn't need to take that pin out. By the way. BTW.
One end of this gets pushed out, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. The trick to do that. So here's the trick. So you actually take this now there and only screw it in a little bit
I'll give it a tappy tappy.
and tap. Done. So that end comes out. And then from the other side, basically that falls out.
It's an interference fit inside.
Yeah.
But you can only do that a couple of times before it becomes not an interference fit.
And now you take this and just
Watch out for that spring. Thing's looking at you ugly.
it's all right. Come on.
There we go.
So now, yep, that over there. Now I'm going to put that pin back because you don't actually need to. I'm thinking, what's the easiest way to do this?
Open that up.
I like to pop the spring.
And it's properly broken, so you got a long side and a short side.
That spring's heavy. And they are the same. Okay, good.
There you go.
The other thing I like to do, I like to use my auto punch on this.
Oh, it's like, what happened? It's not over.
Just one pin.
I broke it a couple of times to go back to Leatherman.
Yeah, I was wondering why I couldn't wait. Oh,
Yeah, that's what I said. It's custom long side, broken side. They're both broken, but
it works.
It's auto punch first. Remember?
Matt, you done yet?
No.
How about now?
Almost.
Yay!
Play grease from the factory.
Yeah, put a lot of grease on it. So now, take this and punch that out. Did it fall? Yep, went somewhere.
Yeah, it's right here.
So just a tiny little pin.
This itty bitty little pin.
That itty bitty little pin.
Right there. Ramses.
I'm gonna borrow that grease. Pull this out.
It should just be the pin and the detent in the back.
What's the pin for?
It rides on it.
Oh, it goes in there.
Yep.
The pin just holds that.
Yep. It rides on that. It
What's that brake band?
Articulates.
Fulcrums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
articulates. Yeah.
It's a fulcrum, that's it.
Fulcrum.
I are smart.
Leverage.
Leverage.
Line it up.
You know what's annoying when you put a chain brake back together and you don't get that spring just right? So now it's like,
Bing!
and then you like, oh, I don't want to hold it.
And you better have this straight, otherwise that pin ain't going in.
Yes. And don't sharpen the edge of the pin. It doesn't help.
Perfect. The next problem is getting the damn spring in.
Might as well take the brand new bumper off and put it under.
Yes. Yes. I concur.
Those things are actually pretty important in my opinion. Because like, if you don't have them, your chain flips off.
There's your spring. Who needed a tool? Did anybody need a tool?
You just big muscle it.
Big thumb it.
Yeah, that's it. Big thumb. Not what I was going with, but that'll work.
Whatever.
I lost these on when you use a saw that doesn't have these. Wait, if you catch a branch right, it flips the chain.
Oh, it skips the chain right off. Right off.
And then you're like trying to get the thing to get back in the groove.
Cover.
And this is the new flap off the other one.
Yep.
How was it?
It's different.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better. That might actually be for that saw. I don't know.
And this actually holds the flap in here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's put the flap on.
My flippy floppy.
It's sort of hold. I mean, it's really, I would call that inexact, but
Oh, little screw holes in
not the screw. The plastic here actually sort of grabs it.
Apply some sort of
it. Oh,
pressure.
the plastic grabs it. That's interesting. Now, find me one. It's just faded.
That one's actually just been on my saw.
I was gonna say it's chunked up a bit too.
Yeah. Doesn't fit the look of this saw.
Huh?
Doesn't fit the look of it.
No. This thing's got to be pristine.
You know, I always forget to put on the cylinder before I put the top cover on. It's this thing.
The rubber. Yeah.
And then you see that left over in your parts pile, and you're like, crap, man, take the cover off again.
Like I said, I loved when I was building saws to put the heat tape underneath the muffler and in the inside of the cover. I would do 2 layers of it. It helped immensely, kept the cover from distorting, and it gave a nice smooth transition. It's easy to wipe off if you get fines in there, and it just helps keep the heat where it's supposed to be and not where it's not supposed to be. Excuse me.
It does make a difference too, because it's like foil.
It is.
Foil,
I mean, that's all it is foil,
Foil.
but it gives that reflectiveness, and it does make a difference.
Because if you take something that, I don't know, and that's covered in foil, you can actually touch it, because it's
That and it
reflective.
smooths it out so the air doesn't have as much turbulence, and the air can blow right out the front and cool off. And then with the exhaust running, it actually adds a little bit of a vacuum to pull the air through.
Finishing touch.
A finishing touch. Possibly not the finishing touch. All right, where's the saw?
Behind you.
Crack this. Make sure this is good. Did we forget something? The dog, right?
I'm going to say we're missing the dog and the plate.
Cool. Okay.
Got a nice new bar plate on there too.
Put that over there for the moment. Don't forget this. All right. Over there. Stuff down there. That doesn't belong there. This does belong here. Doing pretty good. Pretty good. We need
Filter.
a filter, and we need the dog and all that. So we actually have.
That's probably the dog.
This is probably the dog. That too. Powder coated dog.
Very nice matching set.
They are pretty full.
This one's a little funky to deal with, so we'll deal with that in a minute.
Oh yeah, with the brand new cover.
Alright, so I can just zip those off.
Rattly tattly and lock tight. Where do we put the rattle paddle?
Right here.
Blue Loctite.
Case gasket catcher or something.
A little bit of 1184 on it.
Fine engineering. Having a nice new bar plate like that makes a difference too. When they're all fucking bent and shit.
Yeah, yeah. When they're bent, it's a nightmare.
Did did an equip trick on that.
Yeah.
adjuster.
Yep.
Two spring.
Okay. Yeah, I changed the title of this video to the Farmer Tech 288.
No.
Literally the worst one I've seen built yet. It's gonna be a good saw. It's just that.
Just wait till you get into the 26, the 026s.
Mm.
Sometimes those can be a royal pain. Oh,
Of course, it's a steel.
shut up, husky boy.
Okay.
When was the last time you ran a Dolmar?
You too.
Why don't you go Makita yourself?
Dolmars can be fit too. Like the chain brake on a Dolmar is a fucking nightmare.
They're super sensitive.
Like
That's the
emotionally?
problem.
Well, we at least know that the handle can go. Alright, so this goes underneath. If I remember right.
Should. In theory. Kind of fit. Get this in first.
You think so?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, yes. Yes. Fit it in there first.
Woogie woogie. We need a woogie woogie.
5/16.
8 mil.
8 mil.
Has compressing that
Here's
thing
8
to try and
millimeter.
cut in
Yeah.
after.
Yeah. Unless you want to do some dentistry on yourself, custom wise, with 220-pound spring, I would not suggest.
Close enough.
Now you get muscles to come over here and Hercules it in place.
Just needs to line up. Don't worry.
That's fine.
The bottom plate should line up pretty close.
Close enough. For that one.
Oh, it's not, there it is.
Good. That's it.
That's all. Oops. I think this screw popped out of there.
Did you drop the screw? What'd you do that for? Why would you do such a thing?
I think it vibration in that. This thing.
There it
is. I didn't hear it hit the ground.
Because sometimes when you try to get that spring in there, and especially if it's a new one,
It's tight.
yeah, you get a pry on it with a screwdriver, and then one slip and it goes shooting across the shop.
The springs are playing around. It's a serious one.
It's a pretty serious spring.
I mean, you gotta run that thing over with the skidder to break it.
No running this over with the skidder. Anybody hear this? This one's way too valuable for that.
I think the three worst things: dual chain, running over with the skidder, or the tray falls on it, or straight gas.
I was gonna say straight gas, and it's probably the worst.
Yeah, straight gas. Silent killer.
That's on.
So I was running real good before it blew up.
All right, we gotta put this. All right.
I bolted on.
Yeah.
You got a dummy plate for the bar?
By strange coincidence, I have a screw there. And might not matter.
That screw always falls out, though.
Yep.
And then I'm just like, whatever.
Yep. That's why I put a bolt through from the inside. with a lock nut on the outside, so it'll still do a little weeble wobble, but it stays for the most part, usually. 40% of the time it works every time.
Good. That one too long?
Yep. We have a grinder.
I have shorter bolts. Beauty.
That's where a steel bolt comes in handy because they don't back out.
I do like it Torx better than Allen heads.
Well, at least Torx, once you strip them out, you can smash an Allen into them.
How's that for sick? Ha.
Yeah. Don't mind mine,
Thank you.
Before it goes for a ride.
Don't worry, they have.
This thing's all Mad Max. It just needs a little chrome and some flames.
Oh man. All right, where are those bar nuts? A couple of bar nuts.
Just slap together 288 in what, an hour and a half.
2 hours.
2 hours. All right. Top cover. Top cover, is that last, or we got a
Filter.
Filter, which I don't seem to have. There's no way I didn't put a filter in that box.
There's no filter in that box. Oh, that's sexy.
Is that cool?
The bottom and out.
Nice tight.
I'm gonna say so. That's
This is actually the aftermarket high top filter setup, but it's nearly identical to OEM here. It's not it really for this setup. There's no appreciable difference.
and what he didn't say, but what he did was took a little bit of grease and put it around the filter base,
Make sure it goes.
and that helps catch any fines that
It's
may
just bottoming out
work
on
their
that
way down there.
inner lip, I think.
I just want to make sure it's there, down.
You're right, Mega. They do take a little bit of wiggling to get them on right. But like I said, that little bit of grease helps seal out any fines that can get in there.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed pretty solid to me. That's not going anywhere. Top cover. Let's do it. It's a little bit of finagling for it to fit. She will go.
There it is. It's almost like you know what you're doing.
Almost.
What's the catch on the rubber?
Somewhere. Oh, it's the yeah, spark plug. Good, that works. Man. Where did that go? Feels like something in the middle. Oh yeah, it's here. It's on the spark plug line because the spark plug line is supposed to be sitting in that channel, and then this assumes that the spark plug line is sitting in the channel.
Battery power, 15%.
Great.
ridge look like? Oh, it's a full ridge. Okay.
Right. So this spark plug line here.
So this has to turn up like that.
Needs to move. There we go.
I always thought that was interesting that it has that cutout for the air, but it doesn't have that air injection too. That it was like
Yeah, but that's
One
also got
step.
the hot cold. That's the hot weather versus cold weather.
so you can pull that off.
Right. So this here has to be completely clear in order for the top of any, any high top cover, any top cover to sit proper. Then it'll go.
Oh, look at that. Red, white, blue. Oh, it's a patriotic chainsaw.
That was supposed to set and didn't.
Since it's a black chainsaw, are we supposed to say Black Lives Matter too?
Let's not go getting all political. That thing looks
I
nasty.
think all chainsaw lives matter though.
All chainsaw lives matter. That thing looks nasty.
All right, Mason. How much would that cost?
$1,000.
Probably about right.
A grand.
To get all that together. And really, could probably use a new shroud too before it's really solid.
It's actually a pretty good deal though if you think about it. $1,000 for that, because if you were to buy a 395 brand new or a 390, it's like over a grand.
Yeah, 390 is $1,100,
And they don't.
and that only comes with a 20-inch bar or a 24-inch bar.
That thing looks good. That's a good looking saw.
Why does this feel so tight though?
It should be.
It's tight on your hand. Does that feel too tight? You know? It feels tight to me.
A little bit.
Well, it's brand new guts too.
Is the spring yeah, you don't have the spring on it.
The spring's backwards. You missed the tang.
Yeah, they missed the detach because it's all set or more. So you gotta take that handle off and
Move the
put it
frame,
in the
yeah.
right channel, I think.
What do you think?
You know what I think? I think
It's good.
Matt's got something to say. That's what I think.
I do have something to say. So as it turns out, there is a twist to this video. How many people are here watching? Who's
10.
Watching? 10 people. There is a twist to this video. The twist is very simple, and it's that Mason's birthday is coming up. And so somebody has commissioned this specifically for Mason, and it's your dad.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So Daryl, in case Daryl's watching, Daryl, this is Mason's happy birthday present, and I'll officially say it's not quite done.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect. I think we can get this better.
Better.
I think we need to do some port work. I think we need.
Yeah, let's pour it.
I think Mason should do some port work, but I think we need to get
Get a
the
baseline.
cylinder set. Do the squish, maybe cut some off the base, get it set up right, get it set up as a work saw that you want.
Torque.
We'll set it up how you. Torque is great. We'll set it up how you want. We can work together for it. And if you want, you can do the porting. If you want somebody else to do the porting, then somebody else to do the porting. But
What do you
That's
think?
your
Is this,
saw, bud.
is this an appropriate birthday present?
Definitely, it's the perfect color too.
that's your saw, bud.
So congratulations, Mason. Happy birthday.
Well, well earned, brother. Well earned.
So cheers to everybody. And Daryl, this was a good idea. And this is not quite done. We're not quite done. But let's see if it pops. I just want to see if it pops. That's on. Oh God. Nice. And that clutch is about to fly off too.
Yes, we need to put some torque on that clutch.
Yes. So I think this will be a nice run and saw, and I hope everybody has a great evening. We're gonna enjoy our evening of maybe some drinks, and we'll see everybody later.
Say what you gotta say,
Thanks,
brother.
Dad. We appreciate it. Fist bump.
Hell yeah,
Daryl was a good
brother.
idea, and I know Mason's
Hell
gonna
yeah,
really
brother.
appreciate this, and
And he's gonna put that. He's gonna work that saw.
this
That
sucker's
saw
gonna
is gonna
work.
love it.
yep, this sucker's gonna work.
I
Hey,
actually have a job coming up with bigger wood on it, so that's actually a good size. So
Yeah. Perfect.
hell yeah.
yeah, like 800 board feet average per tray on that job.
Nice. Nice.
So, yep, that's about that. And so, if anybody's thinking about building one of these, and is thinking about the money on this, don't think about the money. Just start spending it, and expect to write checks. So, just to give everybody an idea of what some of this costs, just an OEM clutch cover, not without the dog, brand new OEM clutch cover is still $100 by itself. So the head's another 200, and start adding it up.
Yeah,
that doesn't include the powder.
If you gotta do a recoil's 89.
Like, yeah, it's for a complete is 89. This one is, so we're talking about dyed I spent time, I dyed the plastics. It's an OEM brand new tank, OEM brand new carburetor, etc., etc. Glock went through this and powdered everything. So, God, I mean, that's gonna sound so nasty.
Oof.
But that single, oh
Oof.
man,
That's a nice hardwood too.
yeah.
It's done nice.
So,
And you get to port it the way that you want it. If you want to do it yourself.
and you might run this for a bit without
I'm
porting
gonna
it.
get
That's what I recommend. I always say run it 10, 12, 15 tanks, break
Yeah.
the saw in before you port it.
Yeah.
And figure out what you want to do with it. Because you already did a little bit with it. But now you got to figure out, if we're going to cut squish, you want to do the band.
All that fun stuff. So let's say goodnight to everybody. MassChainsawParts.com. If anybody wants to buy high tops, this one was a prototype. It happens to have the hole already in it, so saved us some trouble. But the ones that are not prototypes, actually the blue one here is. Buy the blue ones. These are sharp. Nobody's buying the blue ones or the white.
Black and blue is cool.
They're like eliminator.
Right. This is like these are better. These are actually better. These are actually glass fiber reinforced. They're super strong, and they come with a drop a tree on it warranty. You drop a tree on one of these, send it back. I'll send you a new one. It's the only product in chainsaws that actually has that kind of warranty with it. So everybody have a good night. Thanks so much for joining, and thanks to Mason and Buck. Appreciate it, guys.